Welcome to the deep dive. We know you're busy. You want to understand the big ideas without drowning in an ocean of information.
Right.
That's what we're all about. And today, we're diving deep into something really crucial in the business world: corporate social responsibility, or CSR for short, and its close cousin, the triple bottom line.
The TBL.
Exactly. Think of this deep dive as your cheat sheet to understanding how the best companies are redefining success. It's not just about profit anymore.
Nope, not at all.
We've got some really fascinating material to work with today. Different views on sustainability, the whole triple bottom line concept, the good stuff.
Lots to unpack.
Our mission today: crystal clear. Understand what the triple bottom line really means, why it's gaining traction, and why it matters to you. And we're going straight to the source using the material you provided us. No fluff. So let's jump right in. What's the core idea behind this triple bottom line thing?
Well, I think it all starts with how we view business success. Traditionally, company performance, it's all about the money, profit, loss, bottom line, literally.
Right. Dollars and cents.
Yeah. But this sustainability idea, it pushes businesses to think bigger, to see the impact they have on the environment, on the people around them, the communities where they work.
It's like saying, hey, making money is important, but it's not the only thing.
Exactly. And that's where John Elkington comes in. He's the guy who coined the term triple bottom line. He said businesses should be judged on three things. Three bottom lines, actually.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right. The first one, it's the classic one, profit, that financial bottom line we were talking about, the green stuff. But then he adds two more: people and planet.
So it's like profit, people, planet, a neat little package.
Exactly. The people part. That's about social responsibility, treating employees fairly, giving back to the community, that sort of thing. And planet, that's all about environmental sustainability, reducing your footprint, being eco-conscious.
It sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? Does focusing on people and planet really help a company's bottom line?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer, from what I've seen, is a resounding yes. It might seem counterintuitive, but when businesses actively consider their social and environmental impact, it can actually make them stronger, more innovative. And that, my friend, leads to better financial performance in the long run.
So it's not just about being good, it's good for business.
You got it. It's a win-win. It's about taking that wider lens, thinking long-term. For example, a company that treats its employees really well, they're likely to attract and keep top talent. Less money spent on recruiting and training. Happy workers, productive workers. It all adds up.
Makes sense. And a company with a solid reputation for environmental responsibility, they might attract more customers. People want to support businesses that align with their values.
Absolutely. It's all connected. It's a web. Now, to really grasp why the planet part of the triple bottom line is so vital, we need to talk about our planet's resources.
Okay, let's do it. What's the deal with resources? What do we need to know?
Let's think about it like this. We all know about living within our means, right? If you're constantly spending more money than you earn, trouble. Big trouble.
Debt city.
Exactly. Same principle applies to our planet. Right now, we're consuming and using resources faster than the Earth can replenish them. We're in the red.
That doesn't sound sustainable.
It's not. Not even close. The Global Footprint Network. They say we're currently using 1.4 Earth's worth of resources. We're already overdrawn. And the projections? Scary. The UN. They estimate that by 2050, we'll need 2 planets to keep up with our lifestyle if things don't change.
2 planets? That's mind-blowing. How did we get here? What's driving this insane consumption?
2 big things, really. 1, we got more people on the planet than ever before. More people need more stuff. Simple as that. And 2, consumerism is rampant. As economies grow, people want more things: bigger houses, fancier gadgets, more travel. It's a global trend.
So we've got a population boom and everyone wants a piece of the pie. Recipe for disaster. Can you give us some concrete numbers? How much has the population actually grown?
Sure. In 1950, there were about 2.55 billion people on Earth. By 2010, more than double that, over 6.8 billion. And by 2030, they're projecting 8.5 billion. That's a massive jump in a pretty short time.
So more people means more demand for everything: food, water, energy, you name it.
Exactly. Think about cars, for instance. Back in the 1950s, fewer than 10 million cars were sold globally each year. Nowadays, over 80 million. And it's not just cars. Our oil consumption, through the roof.
And we know the consequences, not just depleting a finite resource, but all the pollution, the emissions.
Right. More exhaust fumes mean worse air quality, more health problems, and of course, it's a major contributor to climate change. It's a vicious cycle. So you see, we've got this growing population, rising consumption, and it's putting a huge strain on our planet.
So how does all this connect to businesses and sustainability? What can they do?
Well, for businesses, sustainability means finding a way to make money, sure, but doing it in a way that's good for the planet and society. It's about putting that triple bottom line into action.
Right, making a profit while being mindful of your impact. I often hear terms like corporate responsibility. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, you hear corporate responsibility, corporate social responsibility, even corporate citizenship. It's all about companies taking responsibility for their actions. It's the people and planet aspects of the triple bottom line put into practice.
Gotcha. Our source is also focused on Australia. What's the key takeaway from the Australian perspective?
One thing that stood out is that Australians are really concerned about climate change. Public opinion polls consistently show a high level of worry about the impacts, and the experts. They're saying we need to slash our emissions by at least 50% in the next decade.
That's a big ask.
It is. And for it to happen, everyone needs to be on board. Individuals, governments, and definitely businesses.
Yeah.
Especially big businesses.
And the finance sector seems to be under the microscope here. Why is that?
The finance sector holds a lot of power. They're the ones providing the loans, the insurance, the investments that fuel all sorts of business activities. And if those activities are harming the environment or contributing to climate change, well, the finance sector is indirectly responsible too.
They're bankrolling the problem.
In a way, yes. One report found that Australia's big four banks, just since the Paris Agreement in 2015, have poured a whopping 84 billion Australian dollars into fossil fuel projects. That's a huge amount of money going towards activities that are making the problem worse.
Yikes. But I think the source also hinted at some positive developments. What are those?
There are some glimmers of hope. There's a growing movement within the business world, even within finance, to prioritize environmental protection. We've actually seen a slight dip in lending to fossil fuel projects by Australian banks since 2020. It's a small step, but it's a step in the right direction.
So maybe the tide is turning?
Maybe. Investors are also getting on board. They're realizing that environmental damage isn't just bad ethically, it's bad for business. If a company's destroying the environment, it's a risky investment.
Makes sense.
A great example. Back in January 2021, a group of investors managing a mind-boggling 3.14 trillion Australian dollars worth of assets called on HSBC, one of the world's largest banks, to set tougher emissions targets. They want HSBC to align with the Paris Agreement. That's a powerful message.
So money talks.
It does. And it's not just investors. There's growing pressure on governments to step up their game, too. More people are demanding stricter environmental laws and faster action on climate change.
So it's a multi-pronged attack.
You could say that. The message is clear. We need businesses and governments to take this seriously.
Okay, we've covered a lot. Let's recap. We talked about the triple bottom line, how businesses need to look beyond just profit and consider their impact on people and the planet. We saw how our current consumption patterns are unsustainable, how we're gobbling up the Earth's resources at an alarming rate, and we looked at the situation in Australia, how the finance sector plays a key role, how things might be starting to change.
That's the gist of it. The takeaway message is this. Profit, people, and planet are interconnected. They're not separate issues. A truly sustainable business understands that. They know that their long-term success depends on a healthy society and a healthy environment. It's not a choice. It's the only way forward.
So I want you to think about this. We've looked at the triple bottom line, the strain on our resources, the push for corporate responsibility. What's the single biggest change that needs to happen for businesses to fully embrace this triple bottom line? And what can you as an individual do to make that change happen? It's a big question. Something to ponder after this deep dive.
Definitely someone to chew on.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time.
See you then.